Tuesday night. We are returning from our last Watcher win. Let's actually take a look at that. And we had last one with the Watcher. We had that Snecko Eye and Dead Branch going on. Good run we had. So we are here returning with the Ironclad. Rolling on 4 and 8, so 12 runs total. Let's keep it going. Let's see what we'll be working with. Off the bat, I like the take 18 damage, obtain a random rare relic. It's one of the starts that I fancy with Ironclad. And let's see. I like the ability to go to a shop after a fire. Could even try to do something like this, get this shop, and then elite. Maybe take this elite, but maybe more likely go to a fire here, and second elite. I think that's a pretty good plan. So let's start with this. Ice Cream is a really good relic to start off with. Be able to conserve your energy. No reason to take any damage here. One second. There we go. Just wanted to fix that border real quick. We'll go ahead and proc him. I'm not sure why the screen capture is not being optimal. Okay, let's try it again. You know, let us go back to the menu here. I don't like how the top is cutting off the bar. Let's close out. And third time's a charm. And that should have done it. Okay. Looking good on my end, looking good on your end. We have Feel No Pain looking good on Spire's end. We'll just do this. And we have lethal. Definitely looking for potion. And so we get the option of them. 3 here. Memories, explosive pot, and fairy in a bottle. I think it's better to just take these two. Fairy in a bottle is a good potion, but when you have higher health, you find yourself just holding on to it and not progressing the way you should be. And not like scaling, for instance. Bloodletting is good for our energy potential. But I think we are just taking cleave here. Not in love with our card choices. Rather than take 8, I'd rather just use the pot. Strike is okay. Clothesline is something along the lines we're looking for. And I also think I'm going to take this flex pot. It is ideal to store up our energy if you can. And I think we're going to use our flex pot here. Now, we could use the potion on Clothesline, but I think it's okay to take 10 when we're likely gonna kill next turn. Like, absolutely likely. That is pretty good, and it can always have a shockwave so if we so choose it. I think it's pretty good with Feel No Pain. And definitely good with ice cream. It's a good fight. We are just not finding the damage we want, but we will take a True Grit. And I think I'm gonna go right path. Mango's fine. Again, like, we want to be like doing something. Which we're just not finding the cards that do damage, really. Clothesline is the most amount of damage we have. And it's definitely not optimal. Just thinking about using liquid memories, but I think we can just draw well enough, typically. Not necessary. Yeah. Essence of Steel. Blood for Blood is a damage card. Ice Cream, we can afford for paying more for it rather than always have to have some way to reduce its cost. Fast Strike, and we're probably going to use the Liquid Memories on the Blood for Blood here. Didn't have the optimal time to use it. Anger is pretty good. We're going to be conserving energy to be able to use it on other cards. Considering whether we want this attack potion or not, I don't think we do. I think our upgrade is probably going to be something along the lines of True Grit, so that way we get Sundial to proc more often. And while they are vulnerable, I think I will use that potion. Taking another 4 is fine. We do have health as a resource because of this, and Juggernaut is a wave of damage that we've been looking for. And also because we have this potion, we're not going to have to... And I think we're just going to upgrade the True Grit. It's more important to upgrade the True Grit rather than the Juggernaut, again for a Sundial reason. And we do avoid the big hit from the first bit. I totally misclicked there, but that's okay, that's part of the game. So let's go ahead and True Grit this cleave, because we're not really wanting to play it much. So we're currently taking 7 to put us at 12 health. And we could very likely die. Fact. We do. Tough run so far. I mean, we just didn't see anything. We didn't take a difficult path. There's really sometimes you just those impossible to work with. So just have to move along. Going over to the Silent. Hopefully we can get a always an easy first Act 1 when you're playing the Silent. Of course, they have 10 strikes and defends in total, so it's really hard to reduce your deck to what it needs to optimally be doing, along with just have raw strength, defense. don't really like the option of taking gold because this path is not ideal. I don't think, at least. Well, actually, 2 fights, shop, 2 fights, campfire, second shop, fire, and then we can choose to take on an elite, fire, and another elite, or 2 elites. And I think a random rare. It's really, really risky to do that with violent. So we'll take this path. And 2 strikes will do it. We get it with it's good, like AoE defense mechanism. Of course, early on, one of the typical attacks that we're looking for is Blade Dance, Predator, maybe Eviscerate. Poison Stab might have to be the one that we're gonna work with for now. So we get this shop. Skewers are pretty good, especially because it's on sale. There's something to be said about how good it is to play with. But I think it's better on in like Act 2 and Act 3. I don't think Act 1 is as important. So I think we're always taking Skewer. That's to form of energy. And I'll pay for it. And unlike how in the last run we were consciously thinking of how we would preserve ice cream, we are looking to find reasons to play our attacks. So even like if we have 0 energy and we see Skewer, we're wanting to make sure that we're playing it so we can proc Nunchaku. But I think we'll actually look pretty good here. Seeing if we could work out any way to where we wouldn't have to play that, where we could build up Nunchaku, I should say. Choke is too much to try and work with. And Sneaky Strike, we have 2 activators with it. Does kind of work with Finisher. I think we have to be for ways we can start scaling with deck. White Beast Statue is a really good way to find some sustain. We might be opening here. In fact, I think we are. And we'll probably use this skill potion. Crippling Cloud's are really good. Way to scale for some poison and to be able to block with our weakness. Paper Crane, really good form of defense. The weakness you deal to enemies from 25% to 40% makes a huge difference, especially with starting. Do I want infinite blades? I think I have to take it. I don't like that I have to take it, but I will because of our nunchaku, and we need some consistent damage. 12 cards. Malaise is really good against Hexaghost. And we would take that second neutralize if we see its pair. And we did not see any of the cards that we wanted. I think we can do this way. Blade dance, 1,000 cuts. The blade dance. Of course, we'd want both, but blade dance is already working into what we're doing. And I might use this potion next turn, especially since we already block. Or excuse me, we already gain another potion. So it's important to make use of your potions while you have them early on. And of course, we're okay if this gets propped. Pen and Nunchaku align pretty closely is going to help us a good bit to be able to hit a big attack and gain energy around the same time we're probably going in for a big turn. And we do see the malaise, which is worth considering the upgrade. You know, there are more enemies with Artifact in Act 2, but I think it's going to be worth it all to upgrade it now. This is gonna be a pretty tough fight. Just whether or not we're gonna kill him in time. And whether we can draw our shivs in a line with our finisher. And we are able to sneak out of it. And we are in combat. I don't think we have to take this alchemize. 1,000 cuts is a way for us to actually deal some AoE. So I think we just have to take that. I don't feel comfortable against a Slaver's fight or some of the other elites in Act 2, so I think I'll hold on to this for now. Let's see what we can do. Because we have melees and White Beast Statue and Paper Crane, it's kind of a way to block slash make sure we have sustain. So I think I'll take this Coffee Dripper. We still have upgrades that we want to hit with Acrobatics, 1,000 Cuts, and I'm sure some other cards that we're going to see here soon. See, 12 plus 24 is 36. So I'm not going to kill him here. And one more tap should do it, but we'll build up Pendant and Nunchaku. Attack Potion. I think I'd rather take Attack Potion over the Blessing of Forge. And get a Piercing Whale plus. I think we have to take that. Bottled Lightning. Very interesting to have that with melees, especially against Chant and even Heart Fight potentially. It's good against Book of Stabbing, not great against Slavers and Gremlin, just because of multiple. I think we will take it. Kinda tough. Another card that we'll probably be looking for is After Image to really go with the deck spamming. Stilled Chaos. That's also really good. We don't have much means of draw. Let's consider that expertise. Good shot. We have a Predator, which we could... I think we're absolutely going to take. Footwork is also tempting. We have 5 of our defense with backflip. I'd love a card remove, though. I think we'd rather take a card remove than Predator, because in a way we are already shortening our deck, and we're going to be drawing through it more by just going ahead with the card remove. We would also be considering a Chemex next time we go to the shop. Okay, now we can get Juicy Finisher. Let's also use the attack potion because we're getting attacked for a lot. Two fairy in a bottles. Reflex is tempting. We don't have enough discard mechanics though. So I think it's just escape plan, which is good, especially because we have footwork and 1,000 cuts. Let's go take this elite. We have 2 fairy in the bottles. Piercing Whale is really good. So we did manage to full block. We actually want to play 3 cards, so that way he dies. Although with Infinite Blades and Piercing Whale, we'll play 2 cards next turn. So let's play this, so that way we don't have more wounds shuffled. And that turn is actually pretty good. Okay, so we managed to escape slavers. Ink bottle is a huge pickup. It actually makes me think we could take prepared. But I'd rather just want another escape plan. Yeah, I think we just have to pass it. I think it could potentially just make our deck worse. But let's upgrade Blade Dance. Helps with Ink Bottle and 1,000 Cuts. I think we'd rather go this way. Bottled Flame! I don't think so, right? No. One of the most commonly skipped over relics. This looks like it's just going to be Transform 2, because we have a lot of garbage cards. Transform. Also Defend, actually. Another Footwork is great, and Sneaky Strike is fine. Could potentially heal, but I like the Fairyland bottle that we have going on, and of course, again, and I'll keep on saying it, White Beast Statue is doing a lot of work for us, so let's see if we can make our deck better. And I do see the accuracy. Crippling Cloud is really good though. But I think with accuracy we are actually like getting there. Let's take it. Another Footwork. For card remove. We have 4 dexterity. Let's also with Paper Crane, so we're weakening our opponents. Let's just take the card remove of the strike. Here we go. Finally get a big turn. And it looks like Pen Nib is going to be perfectly set up. Let's think how we want this. We get the most amount of cards by doing it this way. Okay, another get Tough Bandages. A way to block again. I'm still worried more about damage. Cloak and Dagger. We have 5 dexterity plus accuracy. I will take it. And upgrade our accuracy. So our weakness is gonna do a lot here in this fight. And again, it's unfortunate we don't really have a way to scale. So we're gonna be looking to burst in some form or fashion. if we had like a single, I say single, of course there's gonna be single, shuriken or kunai, we'd be scaling our strength or dexterity respectively, and that would single-handedly take care of what we would be wanting to do for this fight, but we're just not afforded that luxury. So he will proc at 220, that's his halfway point. So we're gonna look to get as close to there as possible without going over, and then with also trying to get our relics set up so to play another 9 or so attacks with 50 damage is gonna be the goal here. It's gonna be close. We don't want him to weaken us, which he just did. So next turn might be the turn. Yeah. And we drew finisher. That's huge. And sneaky strike. Their card I want to play rather than poison stab. No. And we set Pen Nib up again. Probably couldn't have asked for a better turn. Great fight. We didn't even use either of those potions. And we were able to knock him down accordingly, and adrenaline is perfect for what we're doing. Just thinking if I want this liquid memories over fire pot. And I can see it. Snecko Eye is definitely not the card that we're going to be taking. We're looking for all zero cost mechanics. Sozu is terrible because of our White Beast statue. Effectively negates what we've been doing by just holding on to that for sustain, especially with our coffee dripper. So I think we can get rid of Strike and a Sneaky Strike. Birdcage is just fine. Not my favorite, but here it's actually pretty good, so that way we can cycle through our cards that we want. We will have to take on the Burning Elite this act. So we'll start here. Maybe we'll head to that mid shop. We don't need the strength potion. Choke plus is interesting, but we're pretty much doing that with 1,000 cuts already, and we can lose the poison stab. I think I'll look at 2 here, because Master of Strategy would be a really good card. Secret Technique is interesting. Deep Breath is also good. Yeah, I like Secret Technique. I'll take another Accuracy. And, oh, is that Escape Plan? We have 5 Dexterity. It's a lot of gold. 84. But I don't think we are seeing another shop until Act 4, so I'll take it. You can lose Fairy in a Bottle. Letter Opener is really good. We have a ton of skills that we're playing here. Let's upgrade the Footwork. With that Letter Opener take, I feel more confident about our damage. Are taking 2 here. And here we'll just be able to clean up a little bit. And that's some good draw that we'll be coming upon. Right. Again, we want some way to scale. Which Finisher is kind of doing that in turn, but not like carried throughout the whole combat. Strawberry for some more max HP. Noxious Fumes is not what we want. Cloak and Dagger is really good. We have 6 Dexterity now, right? Yeah, 6 Dexterity and 10 Accuracy. Pretty self-explanatory. Take that every day. I think we'll upgrade Adrenaline. We could actually use more energy. Bag of Prep. Draw 2 more cards on your first turn. And let's finally use that Liquid Memories. There... No. I was gonna see if there's any reason why we wouldn't play Deep Breath, but I don't think so. Thousand Cuts is definitely doing a lot of chip damage. Bird-faced Urn is a way that will actually heal. We have a handful of powers, 6 in fact, so potentially heal up to 12 per fight. And Nightmare is probably what we're looking for. Nightmare Malaise be our way to take on the Awakened One, since we're going to be wanting to play all 6 of those powers. And of course the Awakened One scales by playing powers against it. It's a way that we'll be able to copy Malaise and mitigate the negative effect of what would have been playing all those powers. And so ideally we'll want to consider not playing everything. Oh, I totally messed that up. Well, we just got saved, totally. Acrobatics is good. And we are starting to actually do stuff here. The deck is looking much better. Let's see. I will take that. Now that we have our 9 Malaise, not afraid of taking a couple more powers. And as always with the Writhing Mess, you do not want to leave it at an attack point where it could give you a curse. got lucky there. If he would have tried to give us a curse, I probably would have just procced Liquid Memories. There's no reason why we should be taking curse this late in the game, and especially with the sort of deck that we've got going on. Okay, we are fully healed. Let's take, well, we don't want that PK. Let's take... Gambler's Brew over Liquid Memories. Looks like we could be taking a good bit. And if we play this Blade Dance, we will be able to take these out, as well as proccing Nunchaku to play Piercing Wail to block further. Which we actually don't even need to block any further. Phew, okay. It almost looked like we were looking at the brink of death, but we came back. And now we are just massacring Reptomancer. Another escape plan. I think 3 will do it. We are, of course, wary of Time Eater as the second potential lead. But with that being said, we could just malaise accuracy plus and try to burst them down. I think I will use energy here. There we go, got rid of both the cultists. I think we will be playing our footwork. And I think we also want to keep our secret technique to align with Nightmare. And actually, we can do this. So that way we can just go ahead and get this malaise. Very nice. We are very happy with this. We are pretty much just going to be spamming. And there's no reason to play our last melees, because we can save that for once he's transformed, because any negative strength will not carry over into his second phase. But of course, we did proc strength early on, and so reducing it to 0 will stay the same into the next phase. That's why you want to be mindful of how much you pour into him. For instance, with I can just do this. If you had 2 terrors, which is apply 99 vulnerability, you could do one for the first phase and then the second one for the second phase. And since he's in the second phase, we'll be playing every power that we see. So he will no longer be accruing strength. So it should just let us pretty much just fully spam everything now. It should be quick work. We would love Sundial with our deep breath and how much we're drawing. Okay, next fight. We have an Nunchaku set up. And we unfortunately do get Time Eater, so we actually have to think about the cards we're playing. Always start with this. I think we're just going to have to use Dexpot to begin with. I don't want to play this malaise yet. Like I had referenced earlier, I want to play the Nightmare with malaise. So same reason why I won't play Secret Technique. And there's no reason to be playing Cloak and Dagger and like some small amount of damage cards when we don't have accuracy set up, while also not proccing him into the next turn, which would be at 12. A lot of footwork is also an idea. I had said malaise, but also think about accuracy. We're gonna get hit for a lot. I don't love it. There we go. It's important to get this footwork into play. Not great. I think we just have to go ahead and play this malaise. Yeah. That is what we were looking for. And it will be a way to heal some. Let's hold off for now because we might want to have the option to play 12, not 12, 4 cards. Oh. Gosh, this is brutal. Okay. I think now we have to start spamming. There is a world where we are able to draw a finisher, but as you see, we don't get it. What does secret technique do for us? Play secret technique. We can play 3 more cards. Could get acrobatics. Or I actually think it'd have to be backflip into both Survivor and Neutralize. We almost got there. That was hard. That was like the literal worst fight we could have had. Had some awful draw. But we will give it one more go. Moving on to the Defect. And while we look at the map, this is a point in the stream where I'd like to remind YouTube and Twitch, where if you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and send me a picture of your pet, I will make it my YouTube thumbnail for next upload. Just send me a short bio of who the lucky pet is, and I will post it. I think we're just gonna go random common relic, and Omamori is just fine. Not strong, but it's fine for Act 1, question marks. We do just one drawer. Stilled Chaos and Defrag. That's more the start that I want to see. We can avoid this shot, so let's do that and just lose the gold. Okay, that's not really what I was looking for. But it's okay, I guess. And I could have had lethal. But it's okay, we didn't take any more damage because of it. We can take Streamline. Cool-headed is good with our defrag. And I would rather skip this first elite to upgrade. Let's take a second cool-headed. Move a strike. Defrag is almost always first upgrade priority. Spin the wheel. And Omamori is already coming in handy. We can prevent that curse. We have Pen-Nib again. And since we have 2 pretty good potions, let's go this path. And I want to go ahead and play those cards because a lot of those were defense. I just want to get rid of them through draw. And we're very likely to use this potion. Okay. Blue candle is not what we're wanting. Sweeping beam is okay. I'll probably go here and rest. This is the fight that we were wanting. Okay, good fight. Wing boots. We are able to ignore the pass, and so we can choose which elites that we want to be hunting for, or maybe even fires that we're going to have to be resting at. Because we just fought sentries, we'd face Gremlin Knob again or Lagavulin, and I don't think we are too attack heavy to be able to burst them down. Lagavulin would be better. But I'd rather save these potions for our boss fight, so let's just avoid the elite right now. I'm gonna use that. Let's do that first. I'd like my gold back. And self-repair is tempting, but I think we just have to take another defrag. We are barely alive. Another cool-headed. I think we're gonna take it. Yeah, we have to rest. I was thinking of whether we could get our focus into play fast enough, but doesn't look like it. Not before he hits us with a big hit. We barely get there. Right on it. And after this, we shouldn't be taking much damage for the rest of the fight. Okay. We're looking pretty good now. So we do want to get that streamline into play. Again, a good fight. We did have to use that power potion. But that was to be expected since we don't really have much means of damage. Or quick way to get off the ground. So we'll try to hold on to this pen nib, looking for a zap. Go. That would have been the way to go. We do have these two upgraded defense, but worth losing to be able to get some better cards. And those are some amazing cards. We have practically all rares. 5 out of 7 is very unlikely. Core Surge and Bias Cognition being the most notable combo of that. This artifact will block the second sentence of this text. At the start of your turn, lose 1 focus. So by applying that artifact in advance, we'll be able to just maintain 4 focus at no penalty. We will want to upgrade this Fission to where you can invoke all your orbs rather than just remove them. Makes it much more efficient. Thunderstrike, not really doing much. If anything, we actually probably just want to remove it. Go for the Eyes is good. Chill, great. Multicast is gonna be fine. So that was a Doors box. So let's put it to use. Focus pot, pretty good. I think it's too late for a genetic algorithm. Well, actually, hard to take cards knowing that what you're doing is potentially competing to get. It'll be competing against Core Surge and Bias Cog in your immediate draw. I don't think genetic algorithm or wanting to play genetic algorithm is worth it. We of course don't have any defense and strikes because we just removed them. So I think we're just gonna remove Thunderstrike. Doom and gloom. I think that's exactly what we're looking for. Some AoE darkness ability. Let's take a fight. Okay, we are looking pretty strong here. Compile driver is a good way to be able to generate some draw. What are we looking at? I don't know about testing us right off the bat. In fact, it seems pretty good to just go this way. At least aim for that. Mummified Hand is huge. We're actually going to be able to do a lot more with just our 3 energy, our base 3 energy, even though we have these 2 visions, which are going to be helping a ton. Good fight. No damage. I actually think we can take this Meteor Strike because of our Fissions and our Mummified Hand. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I want to go to the shop. Or what do I want to elite? Let's just go for another elite right off the bat. We're looking good. And I did say we are looking good by being able to play that Meteor Strike turn 1. Keep that chilled around. And we get our Zap Biscog combination. Another good fight. Took 3 damage, but that's fine. Courier? Glad we didn't go into that shop. Turbo is interesting, but I think we actually have enough going on to where we don't need that. We see slavers again. There's no need to underestimate them. I think we're supposed to do it like this. It's not optimal, but I think it'll be fine. And let's go ahead and use that focus pot. Okay, looking good. I actually kind of would like a blizzard because of how much frost we're generating, which is very weird to say because it's not a good card typically. Vajra's fine. We're not interested in any of these cards. A letter opener. We are playing a lot of skills, and we definitely don't mind the AoE. And it looks like we'll be doing just fine here. We've got everything set up that we want. And we get to play Meteor Strike. Horn Cleat. Equilibrium is pretty good to get Bias Cog and Core Search together. Maybe hold on to some Fissions or Multicast. It's a good take. Let's draw. I think it's going to be more important to get set up here. Especially for this fight. And turned out just fine. And we're not concerned about playing the artifact before the bias. let's see if we can hold on to this pen nib. Yep. Capacitor is huge with mummified hand. And our amount of scaling and focus. Another orb slot is worth it. Good turn 1 and we'll have a good turn 2 with Horn Cleat. And we're gonna look to get another attack in. Very good. Distilled Chaos is probably better than our Speed Potion. Do we want a second Doom and Gloom? I think we're just fine. And let's hold off on this because I think we very much just beat the champ as is. So let's wait until next act before we go into a shop, get some more gold. We have the courier, so we definitely want to go all in when we can. Probably just going to be looking to dual cast here. And we can just zap multicast next turn. Very good. Recursion. I think is worth taking because we want to build up our dark orb and not worry about having to build up another and another and another. So most important thing for this fight is that we get Bias Cog and Core Surge together. So we're doing that every time. And there we go. Now the second most important thing is to build up a Dark Orb. And there we pretty much won. And we're just going to be pressing E a few times now. Especially since we have pen nib at the perfect number, we don't want to get it out of... well actually... No, no, never mind. We're good. Here we are, doing nothing and absolutely winning here. Gonna play multicast. My eyes were just on. Does that do it? It's okay, we'll just go around. Doesn't matter. My eyes were on dual cast and then we didn't even get it properly. But this does it. Very nice. Another multicast. I don't think so. And I don't want any of these. Snecko. We draw enough to where Snecko Eye doesn't matter. We have these cool headeds, and though Snecko helps with like Meteor Strike and Doom and Gloom, we don't want any like awkward hands to where we have multiple 3-cost cards. The way we have it as now is very reliable, and there's no reason to mess that up. So I think Inserter is what we're looking for. Way to get some more orb slots. Could even take a Consume if we see one. We do have to go to this elite. So I'd like to start off with this shop and then probably use my one skip. Next upgrades that we might be looking to use are our fissions, so that way we're not wasting such high focus orbs just for draw. We can actually get their intended use. And we seem to not be able to end this fight. Hey, Ralphie. Hey, boy. Let's take the power potion over the explosive pot. Another compile driver is tempting. I think we're good. Keep the deck small. Apotheosis is really good. We are in desperate need of a lot of upgrades, mostly these cool headeds. I think I'm very happy to take that then. And with this Clockwork souvenir, we'll also be able to play our Bias Cog much quicker. Gold-plated cables is also hard to pass up. And that was one really good shot. And I think we're good to just then hang out on the left side. Begin to fall. Oh wow. I guess it's Doom and Gloom, because it's not Apotheosis, and it's definitely not Defect. I would be willing to lose 38 gold for weakness. Applied on turn 1. And we already look so much stronger with that Apotheosis. That was a huge pickup. And now we're back to just spamming cards. Just like the way Slay the Spire is meant to be. go ahead and take that second power pot over attack. Recycle. Our deck is really thin, so we're good. And we don't need that double energy either. Kind of takes up space that we don't want to. Barrage is also interesting because of our scaling with Inserter, but we're good. I think we can also use this so we can save some health. Good boy. And here we are just absolutely crushing this elite, which typically can give Defect some grief because of how long it can take to set up whatever you're doing. But this is not the case here. Look for some attacks, even though we don't even really care about attacks. We're not really doing much with them. Regal Pillow, not really amazing. Looking for the Apotheosis upgrade, because we're wanting to draw into it as much as we're capable as such. Need some help? Nice.
Ow! Ow!
You okay? The dog is getting some of her clothes. My wife is having to fight him off. Playfully. Transient is also one of those combats that if you don't scale quick enough, you can just sneak in a pretty big attack. But I think this deck is very quick. Take another defense. We have to take this. Bag of Prep is really good. That's a shame. And we might just be tanking through the double exploder turn. It looks like it. Yeah, it made no difference. It could have actually just killed the repulsor. Now we'll just look for that zap. Tempest is interesting because with how much energy we're generating, it could actually do something. And I like that exhaust. Get rid of that lightning orb so that way our frost orb hits twice. Are good. You know, we do ramp up really quickly. We don't have like an infinite way to scale for damage. It might not be necessary though, but it's something to consider. So we would take a consume because of inserter. We would be looking for means of darkness, and we don't need to play that. And that will do it. Good fight. Eternal Feather. There's that blizzard that I had talked about. And we generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 frost. It's AoE. We exhaust or play our powers of. Let's see, how many action cards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 cards. I think it's actually worth considering. Maybe not. You know, it's probably just like it's too much. We don't need to be doing that. We're getting in the way of our good cards, realistically. $50-50. Nice. Ooh. Ice Calm gives more focus, of course, but Heat Sinks lets us ramp up the curve. But I think we just take the biased. And I don't think the wheel's gonna stop here. It did. Smiling Mask to remove a card. 50 gold. What would we remove? Streamline, probably. We are looking for that apotheosis. Here we go. We are good. And we have to recall. And we are against the power boss. Not ideal. Looks like we're going to be taking 19. And it looks like we're all set. So now we just want to deal damage however we can. great fight. We took 19 at the beginning, but to be expected. And we get a chance of revenge against Time Eater. So let's not blow it. There's gonna be a lot of waiting for this fight. Likely the turn that we'll go in at is if we draw Zap, Vision, and Tempest, or Multicast. This is just one of those fights that you just have to know what you're playing and not be too eager to rush. I think that we can get by with that. That way we maintain some block and actually exert some damage. And it looks like we are just going to kill here. Very nice. Able to get some revenge on the Time Eater after our silent loss, so let's keep the momentum going into Act 4. And of course we get an upgrade, which I think should probably go into Fission. We're usually playing them to find our Apotheosis and defrags and whatnot, so good way to get going. We do see a Darkness, but oh, please don't crash. Oh goodness. I'm actually gonna have to close Slay the Spire. One moment. Get it back up in time. I think we're going to be taking that orrery. Um, get that streamline removed. Let's look at it first. Consume is really good. Nope. Nope. And nope. Okay, it's just going to be the consume. And we don't have to worry about that focus anymore. Or that defrag, so let's just go ahead and remove that streamline. And I think we are all good. Hmm. Taking a good chunk of damage. Okay, we actually have to think. No, we don't. $36. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. For a second, I panicked. Okay. As we saw, that turn 2 was disgusting. Ooh, amplify. I think we can try to take that. But this should be much better. That was a terrible turn 1. But at least we have Clockwork Souvenir to block the vulnerability. Okay, I think we are home free. making sure that we do stay on track to deal enough damage. Important to play Frost first because, like I said, that's what's going to be doubled, and we have so much energy that we don't need anything doubled now. We can start with dual casting. Getting a hit for 90. Do we need to play that? Let's see. I think we do. Getting hit for 120. Five times 16 is 80. We need another 40 block. Moving Frost Orb to the front position would generate another 16. We'd still need 24. That's now 7. I think we are okay with like this. Let's do that. That was also just a lucky hit. Oh, and block. Okay. 6 times 15 is 90. Just gotta double check, and then of course 21 times 5 is 105. Okay. Never hurts to do your math twice. And that should be GG. Oh boy. Well, we were able to get it done with Defect. Other two runs were very different. Ironclad was just a terrible start from the get-go. Couldn't find anything to save us. Silent was looking really good, but then just had some terrible draw when we were facing Time Eater. But was a fun deck though, with some big old shivs. And then to be able to rotate into Defect with Mummified Hand, amazing Pandora's Box, probably one of the best I've ever seen. To just have Um, Bias Cog and Horse Surge is one of the best ways to scale with Defect and to scale rapidly. It's hard to ask for more. With that being said, that will do it for today's stream. We do move to 5 and 10 from the 100 run sampling size. And we will be starting back with Watcher. And as always, as I've been mentioning now, at the end of streams and right in the midway point, if you follow me here on Twitch and on Twitter and YouTube, all at Feisty Saint, and send me a picture of your pet with a short bio, I will include it in my thumbnail for my next YouTube video. Next one should be going up sometime tomorrow, as well as the stream either late tomorrow or the next day. As always, thank you for watching, and check me out at those channels. And you can expect me back here Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Time for probably another 2 hours, at least a Watcher run, and of course Ironclad to get in that time frame. We'll see how those runs go starting next time. Thank you again, and have a good night. Be safe.